This time to Mr. Bishop. Gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong support of H.R. 872, the Reducing the Regulatory Burdens Act of 2011. I recently introduced H.R. 872 to clarify congressional intent regarding how the use of pesticides in or near navigable waters should be regulated. The Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act, also known as FIFRA, has long been the federal regulatory statute that governs the sale and use of pesticides in the United States. However, more recently, as a result of a number of lawsuits, the Clean Water Act has been added as a new and redundant layer of federal regulation over the use of pesticides. As a result, an additional set of permits will be required for use of pesticides. H.R. 872 is aimed at reversing a decision of the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals in the National Cotton Council versus the EPA. In this ruling, the Sixth Circuit substituted judge-made policy choices for reasonable agency interpretations of the law. In the process, the Court undermined the traditional understanding of how the Clean Water Act interacts with other environmental statutes and judicially expanded the scope of the Clean Water Act regulation for further into areas and activities not originally envisioned or intended by Congress. EPA has estimated that approximately 365,000 pesticide users, including state agencies, cities, counties, mosquito control districts, water districts, pesticide applicators, farmers, ranchers, forest managers, scientists, and everyday citizens that perform some of the 5.6 million pesticide applications annually, will be affected by the Court's ruling. This will virtually double the number of entities currently subject to NPDES permitting under the Clean Water Act. With this ill-advised court decision, the states and a wide range of public and private pesticide users will face increased financial and administrative burdens in order to comply with the new permitting process, and all this expense comes with no additional environmental protection. This new permitting process was meant to take effect on April 9th of this year. However, just 2 days ago, the Sixth Circuit granted an extension through October 31st, 2011. The Court's extension only temporarily postpones the need for an NPDES permit for pesticide use and does not eliminate the need for this legislation. H.R. 872 fixes the problem. It exempts from the NPDES permitting process a discharge to waters involving the application of a pesticide authorized for sale, distribution, or use under FIFRA, where the pesticide is used for its intended purpose and used in compliance with FIFRA pesticide label requirements. H.R. 872 was drafted very narrowly to address the Sixth Circuit's holding in the National Cotton Council case and return the state of pesticide regulation to the status quo before the Court got involved. This bill unanimously out of the Agriculture Committee and passed unanimously out of the Agriculture Committee and passed the Transportation Infrastructure Committee on a strong bipartisan vote of 46-8. Many organizations representing a wide variety of public and private entities support a legislative resolution of this issue. Just to name a few, these organizations include the National Association of Counties, the National Association of States Departments of Agriculture, the National Water Resources Association, the American Mosquito Control Association, the American Farm Bureau Federation, the National Farmers Union, CropLife America, and Responsible Industry for Sound Environment. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my colleague, Chairman Schmidt, for her leadership on this bill in both the Agriculture and Transportation and Infrastructure Committees. I also want to thank the ranking members of the Subcommittee of Water Resource Environment and Transportation and Infrastructure for their support of the bill. In addition, I want to thank Chairman Mica and Ranking Member Rahal for their leadership of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, as well as Chairman Lucas and Ranking Member Peterson of the Agriculture Committee for their leadership. I urge all members to support H.R. 872. I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves the balance of his time.